Welcome back, dear students. In the previous session already we learnt about the three major dynasties. These are Slave dynasty, then we learnt about Khalji dynasty and the Tughlaq dynasty. Now two dynasties are remaining. These are Sayyid dynasties and the Lodi dynasties. Now first we will learn about Sayyid dynasty. Duration of Sayyid dynasty is 1414 till 1451. The Sayyid dynasty, it was established by Khizar Khan and he was appointed by Timur to be the governor of Multan. Multan, it comes in Punjab. Khizar Khan, he took Delhi from Daulat Khan Lodi on May 28, 1414 and founded the Sayyid dynasty. Now after Khizar Khan, Mubarak Shah Sayyid, he became the ruler of Sayyid dynasty. Khizar Khan, he was succeeded by his son Mubarak Khan. Mubarak Shah, it styled himself as Muz-ud-Din Mubarak Shah in his coins. He spent most of the time of his rule in controlling the rebellions of the nobles. Now after him, Muhammad Shah Sayyid, he became the ruler, and the duration of Muhammad Shah Sayyid is 1434 till 1445. After the death of Mubarak Khan, his nephew Muhammad Khan, he extended the throne and styled himself as Sultan Muhammad Shah. Afterwards, Alauddin Alam Shah Sayyid, he became the ruler, and his duration is 1445 till 1451. Just before Muhammad Shah died, he called his son, his name is Alauddin from Badon, and nominated him as his successor. The last ruler of this dynasty, Alauddin Alam Shah, he voluntarily abdicated. Abdicated means sacrificed the throne in favor of Bahlul Khan Lodi in 1451, and he left for Badon, and he continued to live there till the death in 1478. Okay, now the next dynasty, that is Lodi dynasty. Lodi dynasty's duration is 1451 till 1526. In 1451, Bahlul Lodi, an Afghan chief, he defeated Alauddin Alam Shah Sayyid and established the Lodi dynasty. He suppressed rebellions and installed loyal Afghan nobles in strategic positions. He extended the boundaries of sultans to parts of Punjab and Bihar. Now next one, that is Sikandar Lodi. His duration is 1489 till 1517. Nizam Shah or Sikandar Lodi, he was more popularly known, was another popular ruler of this dynasty who extended the boundaries till Bihar and Bengal. He also undertook welfare measures like lowering the prices of commodities under his region. Agra became the capital city of empire. Next one, that is Ibrahim Lodi. His duration is 1517 till 1526. Ibrahim Lodi was the last ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. It is said that he was an arrogant ruler and treated the Afghan nobles with little respect. So in retaliation means as a revenge, the nobles invited Babur, the ruler of Kabul. That time Babur, he was the ruler of Kabul, to invade India. So the nobles invited Babur to invade India. Babur met Lodi in the first battle of Panipat that occurred in 1526 and defeated him. The later he leads to the establishment of Mughal Empire. Yes, students, already we know about Babur. Babur, he was the founder of Mughal Empire, and he was the first emperor of Mughal Empire in the Indian subcontinent. About this Babur and the Mughal Empire, we will learn in the next lesson of history. So here we understand these 5 dynasties. Right, student? Now we will see the administration of the Sultanate. The machinery of administration that evolved under the Delhi Sultans was inspired by the Abbasid. Who was this Abbasid? He was the member of Arabic dynasty. Okay, so this machinery of administration that evolved under the Delhi Sultans, it was inspired by Abbasid. So it was theocratic in character, and the Delhi Sultanate was an Islamic state. The head of the state was regarded as the religious leader of the people. It was believed that he derived his authority from God. Indians already had a tradition of monarchical rule assisted by a council of ministers. Hence, we may say that some of the institutions under Delhi Sultanate were carrying forward of the old system, that is the tradition of monarchical rules. First one, that is, here we will see the Sultan. See, we are seeing here the administration of the Sultan. First one, that is the Sultan. Sultan, that is the Turkish rulers of the Delhi, assumed the title of Sultan. The word Sultan, it means power or authority. The Sultans of Delhi were independent ruler of their territory. All the power of the state, whether executive power, judiciary or military power, it were concentrated in the hands of Sultan, and he made all the appointments to the high offices. Now, the Sultan was assisted by minister. Here Wazir. First Wazir, he was the prime minister. Second, that is Aris-e-Mamalik. He was responsible for Ministry of Defense. And third one, that is Diwan-e-Insa, was responsible for records of the royal court. Now next one, that is provincial and local governments. The territories of the sultans were broadly divided into two parts. These are the Khalsa, and second one, that is Khalsa and Jagirs. Now we will understand the difference between Khalsa and Jagirs. Khalsa, or land, it means the land under the direct administrative control of the center, and the Jagir, it means the land under independent Hindu chiefs. Okay. The provincial governors of this region were called Walis or Muktas. Khalsa included the far-off provinces of Gujarat, Malwa, Bihar, Bengal and Deccan. The provincial government was an exact imitation of the central government, and the governor was directly responsible to the Sultan. The central government levied four taxes, which are as follows. These are the Zakat. Zakat is the religious tax paid by the Muslims for the benefits and welfare of other people. Second one, that Kharaj, it's a land revenue tax. Third one, that is Kham, that is state share of plunder, means stealing goods acquired by the soldiers during the course of war. And the last one, that is Jazia Kar, it means it is a tax charged on the non-Muslims. So these are the four types of taxes. Now we will see about military organization. The army of the Turks comprised infantry, cavalry and war elephant. Infantry, it means the army. Cavalry, it means the army who fight on horses. And the war elephants, okay, the soldiers use bows, arrows, spears, swords, battle axes, daggers, shields and protective headgears. The horseman and his horse were well protected by iron covers and iron shields. Elephants were also used for quick transportation of armaments and soldiers. Okay, catapults and such other Catapults and such other mechanical devices were used for hurling big stones and enemies. Alauddin, he raised a strong and well-equipped standing army who were paid in cash, but his successor failed to maintain it. See, it's all about the military organization. Now the last point of this lesson, that is the decline and disintegration of Delhi Sultanate. Here we will understand how the Delhi Sultanate declined. See, actually there is no single emperor it can be held responsible for the disintegration of the Delhi Sultanate. There were numerous powerful nobles who had either a clan following of their own or strong links with a particular region. These clans or links always rebelled when they sensed any weakness in the central authority. They were powerful and ambitious. It became even more difficult when they were posted as governors of distant places such as Bengal, Sindh, Gujarat, Daulatabad, etc. There were struggles for succession in which ambitious nobles found opportunity to further their interest, right? Each of these groups was incompatible to the unity of the Sultanate. The Delhi Sultan period, it was the witness a centralized and militaristic state with factionalized ruling class, and this period also witnessed economic prosperity and cultural development. There was a growth in architecture, literature and music in which both Hindus and Muslims contributed. So here we cover up this lesson, students. I hope you all understand this lesson very clearly. Here we learned about all these 5 major dynasties of Delhi Sultanate. These are the slave dynasties, Khalji dynasties, Tughlaq dynasties, Sayyid dynasties and Lodi dynasty. Here I am showing the concept map again. Here you can see all these major 5 dynasties of Delhi Sultanate, and you can see the rulers also over here. Okay, and today's assignment, you have to draw the concept map mentioning all these 5 dynasties and along with their rulers. Okay, I hope you all clear with today's session. Students, don't forget to write comments in the comment box. It is mandatory because it's going to consider your attendance. Students, take care of yourself and have a nice day. Thank you.